welcome to Lauren Reed Color. Thanks for joining me today. Well, we are halfway through the year. I can't believe that it's July already, and it is time to see how I am progressing with my goals and to consider whether or not to make any changes. The video today is based on questions first adapted by Kira at A Pictured Purpose, but I also want to thank Helen at Helen's Heartworks for tagging me in this video, and I highly recommend popping over to her channel and watching her cool progress report. There are also quite a few other channels that have done their own mid-year check-ins that I recommend hopping over to see. So there's Joe at Geordie Colors, and Jess at Coloring Bumblebee, and Pauline at Pauline's Art Stuff. Really fun videos to see how everyone is doing with their goals this year so far. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. I write everything down in my trusty planner. So what did I have here? Color in focus books, 1 per month. And actually, for this goal, I'm doing really well. Let me show you. So these are my focus artists, but I've actually got focus books as well. So my focus books are Daydreams by Hannah Carlzon, Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes, Romantic Country by Eerie, Twilight Garden by Maria Chole, Dragon Spell by Joseph Katzenbang, Small Victories by Johanna Basford, Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosannes, and Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. And I've actually worked in all of these books this year, but Small Victories and Dark Fairy Tales have sort of been put on the back burner while I'm coloring in all of the other books. So over here, you can see that in the first quarter, I colored 2 Kirby Rosannes, 1 Hannah Carlzon, 1 Maria Chole, 1 Eerie, and 2 Johanna Basford. In quarter 2, I did 2 Kirby Rosannes, 2 Hannah Carlzons, 2 Maria Choles. I'm working on my Eerie page right now, and 1 Johanna Basford, and I'm hoping to continue with those in the next 2 quarters of the year. So that is really good progress. Let me get back to my list. Okay, my second goal was to color untouched books, 1 per month. And as you can see, I have colored untouched books, but it's actually more than 1 per month. So here in my other chart, where is it? No. I have to find everything. Here it is. Okay, so in January, I colored 2 untouched books, in February 3, in March 3, in April 1, in May 2, and in June 1. I don't think I've colored 1 this month yet, but the month is not over, so there's still plenty of time. Okay, so I'm doing well with this one. Color 12 cat pages. So far, I have colored 5, and I am working on a cat page right now, so I'm doing quite well. Color 6 title pages. I've colored 3. Maintain my Creative Haven 2026 hashtag. So as you may or may not know, I am running a Creative Haven hashtag. So I try to color in a Creative Haven book every month. So far, I've done 4 out of 6. So yeah, not too bad. Also, color every day. Yes, absolutely. I am definitely doing that. I mark off all the days that I color. I need to mark off this past week. Maintain this coloring planner, which obviously I am doing. Color pages for the Wild Year of Color and Color the Fairy Tales hashtags. So here you can see I am up to date with Color the Fairy Tales, and I am up to date with the Wild Year of Color. Even though that says has an X there, I actually did color that page. It's the Crocodile on the Sandbank page. So I am still keeping up with those 2 hashtags. Begin anime drawing. I was really good at the beginning of the year and actually started, but after that I put my notebook aside and forgot all about it. So this is not a goal that I am doing well with. And continue with my calligraphy, also a goal that really hasn't been progressing very well. So I need to perhaps focus more on these 2 in the second half of the year, or just, put them aside and try again next year. Okay, so those are my goals for the first half of 2026. And now let's move on to the other questions that Kira posed. Question number 1 is how many pages have you colored in so far this year? And the answer is 47 pages, which is pretty good. It is more than the same time last year where I had colored 31 pages, so I'm happy with myself. The second question is how many books have you colored in so far this year? And I have colored in 28 books, which is 2 more than the same time last year. Okay. Next question, what book have you colored in the most in 2026? So let me just go and get the book and I will show you. The book that I've colored in the most this year is Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Katzenbang. I'm in a group on Instagram dedicated to this book and we color 1 page every month. So I've actually colored quite a few pages in it because we started last year. But of course, as we're coloring 1 page every month, I've colored 6 pages so far in the book. Let me just show you the pages. So I colored this one. This one was May's page. I colored this using alcohol markers as a base and then Castle Arts pencils on top. I wanted to get the middle to look like an eye. So this would be the pupil and I'm really happy with the end result. It's a beautiful page and I enjoyed coloring it. The next one that we colored, well, it's not the next one that we colored, but it's the next one in the order of the pages of the book. So this is the one we colored last month in June. It is the Sea Serpent page. This one was a little bit of a, I struggled with it. It wasn't as easy as, say, the A Dragon Eye page to color. I based with also alcohol markers, and then I did the background with luminance. It's all luminance pencils. And then I started to do all of the other tiny elements and I sort of lost motivation. It was going through an ugly duckling phase. I was not happy with it. So then I decided, okay, I would just, color the dragon, the snake, and see how it looks and hopefully I will get my mojo back. And thankfully that is exactly what happened. I colored the sea serpent, I got it to glow, and then after that everything just flowed. So it worked out well in the end, although it's not one of my favorite pages in the book. Then, oh no, I've skipped one. There we go. This was February's page. It's the Dragon Knight. This one was a lot of fun. So again, I based with alcohol markers and then I shaded with Castle Arts pencils. At first, I was going to do the Dragon Knight in a bronze color, but then I realized that I actually wanted the sword to be golden bronze. And so I changed it and you can actually see how with the alcohol marker, the Dragon Knight was originally supposed to be a different color, but I went on top with the blues and they came out really beautifully. So yeah, very happy with this page. This one is one of my favorites. I'll show you my favorite one in a minute. Then we have March's page, which is the Dragon Warrior Garden. So these are snapdragons. I think that's so cute. I love how Joseph has interpreted the dragon motif in this book. It's not all dragons. It's anything that is related to dragons or the word dragon, which I think is really cool. Anyway, so I digress. This one is based with watercolor pencils and then shaded with Castle Arts. And here I got my rose gold that I had originally planned for here, although here it was going to be more of a bronze than a rose gold. So yeah, really happy with that one. Next is the Custodian of Light. That's what I called this one because of the lantern. There was a debate in the Instagram group about whether or not this was a lantern or an anchor, because when it's uncolored, all I could see was this part. And so I was convinced it was an anchor. But thankfully, before I started coloring it, because I would have made it blue if it was an anchor, it was very quickly, discussed. And I realized that it was a lantern instead. And so I changed my color scheme. I used a color palette from Johanna Stone's collection of color palettes. And this was also colored for Joe at Geordie Colors hashtag. I can't remember which one it was in January. I don't remember what the prompt for January is. It might have been Rapunzel. Oh, never mind. But I did color it for that hashtag. And anyway, what did I use? I based with watercolor. no, I based with marker, and then I went over with Castle Arts pencils. I love this one. This one is my favorite one colored this year so far. And then the last one we colored was the Dragon Travels. Yes, this was a very naughty dragon. He was on an airplane. He caused a lot of shenanigans, and the plane with the dragon crashed on a beach. And so he's got all this luggage around him. He is a very, problematic dragon. So this one, also I struggled with it in the beginning, but once I got into a flow, it worked out okay. I was going to have a reddish sky, but I didn't like the way it was coming out, so I erased, and then I went over with pink instead, and I'm very pleased with the end result. This was a very fun page to color. I added in the squiggles to make the sand. Yeah, so this is the book that I have colored in the most in 2026 so far, and I am almost 100% sure that by the end of 2026 it will still be the book that I've colored in the most. The next question is, which color pencil set have you used the most so far in 2026? And it will come as absolutely no surprise to anyone who has watched the channel that the pencils that I have used the most are, of course, my 120 set of Castle Arts, along with its complementary harmonious and pastel tint colors. I even have a handful of them out of the case right now because I'm using them on a page. So let me put those aside. Yeah, I love these pencils, and I have the set that was manufactured before they added the color names. I have a feeling that they did change the formula for the pencils since then, but I really enjoy using them, and I want to use them up. I have this plan to finish the entire set before moving on to using a set of Sue color pencils that I also have. So I want to finish these, and I am slowly but surely working my way through them. Some of them are really short, and some of them are even used up completely. So yeah, I enjoy using these a lot. So that is my colored pencil set that I use the most. Next up is, what are some of your favorite pages colored in 2026? It was really difficult to narrow them down, but I think I've managed. I have chosen one page per month and then one honorable mention page. So the first one is in Mythographic Wild Winter by Joseph Katzenbang. This is my favorite page for January, and the page is this bird's nest page. I really enjoyed coloring this very much. I based it with Derwent Graphitint pencil in the background. Then I based it with Art Group Aquarelle colored pencils for the birds, and then I shaded with Castle Arts pencils. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and it was the first page that we did for the Mythographic Collective group on Instagram, which I am hosting together with Maria from Colorful Mother of Three. Every month we have a book of the month, a page of the month, and some prompts to choose, and it is a really active and fun group that I'm enjoying very much, and I love this page and the way it came out. So that is January's page. February's page is in Gorgeous Goddesses by Marty Noble. This is a Creative Haven book, and the page that I colored in February is Freya. So yeah, this was also a really fun page to color, but I colored this using polychromos pencils. I followed a tutorial by coloring with Elena for the sky, but everything else is my own invention, and I had a lot of fun coloring this, and I think she came out beautifully. I particularly like the shading on her dress and the shading on my cats. So that was a lovely page to color too. Then we have March's page, which is in Enchanted Earth by Melpomene Chatipani-Gyotu, and the page that I colored is the Butterfly of Flowers page. This was a buddy color with Chrissy Wilcox. We had a blast. It was a lot of fun, and when I started coloring this page, I thought it was all flowers, but once I started putting down the pencils onto the page, I realized that actually they're different nature scenes. So we have a nature scene on this side, side and then a nature scene on this side, and it's only the bottoms that actually have the flowers. I was a little bit, intimidated by this book at first, but once I realized that you just break down the elements one at a time, it was easier for me to work in it. And then for the background, I used my do-it-yourself distress ink technique, which is taking some watercolor, mixing it with glycerin, and then putting it down on the page with an applicator. And I love the end result. So yeah, a fun page to color, a fun buddy who I could chat with as we went along, and very happy with this page. So that is March's favorite page. April's favorite page is in Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liederhol Oberg. This is also a book that I am in a group on Instagram. In fact, I host the group because on one of my videos, I was talking about how I wanted to color in this book and hadn't touched it yet. And then I suggested starting a group, and lots of people like this idea. So we now have a very active group on Instagram. It's a lot of fun. However, I have, of course, only colored one page, but it is one of my favorites of the year, and it is this bunny with the, I don't know, coffee pot vase or teapot vase. I've still never decided what exactly this is. Anyway, so what did I do? I put down a layer of Neocolor 2s, then I shaded with Spectrum Noir color blend pencils. Then for the rest of the elements, I put down base layers of Art Grip Aquarelle pencils and shaded with Castle Arts. And then the bunny is Polychromos. I find that Polychromos are one of the best pencils for fur, and so they're usually my go-to pencil brand when I have some sort of animal to color. Yeah, I love this. I love the way it came out. I love the glow that I got. I love the shading on my flowers, and I enjoyed coloring it very much. Now, if I could just, color another page in the book. Okay, so that's April's page. My favorite page for May, yes, is in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosans, and it is, one moment, the Kitsune page. This was also a group color. I'm in a group on Instagram where we're coloring Mythomorphia. If we are coloring a double page spread, then it's every 2 months. And if we are coloring a single page, then it's every month. This was actually the page chosen, I think, for February and March, but I only finished it in May, and I love it. I loved coloring it. I based it with Derwent Inktense in the background for the background here, Neocolor 2s for the tail of the Kitsune, and then everything is shaded using Polychromos pencils. And one of the reasons I love this page is because I was coloring in it when my beloved Toby crossed the Rainbow Bridge, and so coloring it really helped me get through that difficult time. And every time I look at this page, I remember him, so it's going to always hold a special place in my heart. So yeah, that is my Kitsune page in Mythomorphia. And the last monthly page is in Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle, and it is the Forest Pond page, which I colored in June. This was also a fun buddy with Tiku from Tiku's Coloring Corner, and also colored with Polychromos. So it's Polychromos for the water and for all of the flowers. The tree is based with Art Grip Aquarelle, and so are the irises, and then it's shaded with Polychromos on top. So yeah, I loved coloring this page, and I love the way it came out. Now I just want to show you my honorable mention. Okay, so my honorable mention is back to Mythomorphia, and it is also a page that I colored in June, and it is the Basilisk, also a buddy color, but this time with Amanda from Color Me Tartan, who's actually, I think, changed her channel name now to Bonnie Brush because she is making her own coloring book, and I am so excited because the page that she shared with us is just adorable. Anyway, I digress. So this is my honorable mention because I loved it as well. I enjoyed coloring it a lot. And it was really hard for me to choose between this page as a favorite and the page in Twilight Garden. So I just said I will make this one an honorable mention. And yeah, I used Neocolor 2s in the background with watercolor paint to make additional trees. Then it is based with Derwent Inktense on the rocks and shaded with Castle Arts pencils. So yeah, love the way this came out. And the roommate, my assistant Karen, chose the colors for the dragon. So kudos to her. Well, it's a basilisk. Okay, so those are all my favorites for 2026 so far. Next question is, what is your least favorite page of 2026? And mine is in Mythographic Aviary by Joseph Katzenbang. I love Joseph Katzenbang. He is a fabulous artist. This is not a criticism of his artwork. It is just this particular page is seriously weird and I struggled to color it. Anyway, so the page I'm talking about is the Potted in Pink page of this flamingo in a pot. It was a buddy color with Geordie from Geordie Colors, and wow, the two of us struggled with our pages. Thank God that we were talking to each other and commiserating, because I'm not sure I would have gotten through it any other way. Anyway, so what did I do? I based with alcohol marker, and the alcohol marker that I used for the flamingo was seriously pink. And after it dried, it was still seriously pink. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was really afraid that I was going to have a glowing flamingo. The composition of this page is just weird. So you have this flamingo with these flowers, and it conceals the flamingo's body. And then you have these heavy wings, heavy flamingo, and these tiny stalk-like legs. Don't think that in real life this flamingo would be able to stand. I'm sure it would topple over. Anyway, so I eventually, developed a color scheme and colored, and then I didn't know what I was going to do with the background. Eventually I decided that I was going to try to make it look like the wings were flapping. So I put down watercolor pencil, art grip aquarelle, and then I took a baby wipe and I smudged it and made it look like, movement. At least I hope that is the impression that I got. But overall, it is my least favorite page because of the composition, the struggles with coloring it, the inability to think of a color palette. All of those things together just made this one of the most difficult pages to color and my least favorite. Okay, so that is that question. Next question, have you tried any new mediums or techniques this year? And the answer is yes, I have. First of all, there is that technique with the baby wipe that I was explaining earlier. That one I used on this page. I enjoy the technique. I don't like the page, but I enjoy the technique. Another one is in Rooms of Wonder. This one I tried out really recently. So this book, the paper does not like water. But I really wanted to have Neocolor 2s in the background to this page. So what I did was I put down the Neocolor 2s, then I took a blending tool, I wet it, I dried it off so that it was only damp and not wet, and I blended with the blending tool. This is a technique that I learned from Joanna Stone on her channel. She has some really good tips and tricks for using Neocolor 2s. So I learned that one. Obviously the page is not yet done, but it will eventually get there. A medium that I use that was new to me is in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford, and it is, let me find the page, 1 second, where is it? It's this one, the Down the Rabbit Hole page. So I purchased a set of oil pastels, I think last year, and I was reluctant to use them because I had it in my mind that they were really messy, and I was, didn't know how to blend them and all of that kind of stuff. And then I just decided, I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, and I decided to do it on this page. And the way I worked with it is I put down a layer of Neocolor 2s, then I put Spectrum Noir pencils, which are really waxy. They have a really waxy finish. And so when I wanted to deepen up the background, I knew I couldn't put any more pencil, and I also couldn't put any more water medium. So I decided, this is a perfect opportunity to use those oil pastels. I scribbled them on and then smudged them with my finger, and it came out so well that I decided to do it on the bottom of the page as well. So again, it is Neocolor 2, then Spectrum Noir, and then the oil pastels on top of all of that. And for the maze, I just smudged some of the pastel into the maze, outlined it with a gel pen, and it comes out this metallic looking maze, which I'm really happy with. So yeah, this was a fun page. I love that technique, and I will definitely be using it some more in my coloring books and on other pages. Yeah, so those are the three techniques and the medium that I learned in 2026. Next question is, what are some of your favorite book purchases in 2026 so far? So January to May for me were really low buy. I barely bought any supplies and I didn't buy any coloring books. June, however, is a completely different story. I have bought quite a few books. None of them are new books to me. They are very familiar in the coloring community, and I wouldn't consider any of them really a big favorite. But I did buy one book in May that is a favorite. So the book that I got is in PDF version, and it is Steampunk Revival by R.J. Hampson. I have loved this book ever since I first saw it on, I think, Coloring with Elena's channel, and I've wanted to get it. Now, the reason it's in PDF is because I don't like the Amazon paper that R.J. Hampson's books are printed on, and so I don't really purchase them. But I saw that he was having a sale on his website in May, and so I decided to bite the bullet and get this book because I've always loved it. I love the steampunk theme. I love his art style, and I'm really happy that I could purchase it. I have since learned that he is going to be publishing some of his books on fabulous 150 GSM paper, and I cannot wait to get one of those. So yeah, his art style is just so cute, so lovely. I even colored one page so far. It is the Clockmaker page. This was based with alcohol marker in some areas and art grip aquarelle in other areas, and then it's all shaded with polychromos pencils. I loved coloring this page. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that is my favorite purchase of 2026. Next question is, what coloring supplies are at the top of your wish list? And actually, I have already bought the coloring supply that is at the top of my wish list. It is the Caran d'Ache set of 40 Neocolor 1s. These are different from the Neocolor 2s. They are wax crayons. They are highly pigmented, but they are not water soluble. I saw these on Erica at Elm Colors channel, and I decided that I wanted to give them a try. And I also saw that Joanna Stone on her YouTube channel has lots of techniques for blending them. I haven't tried them out yet. It is still something that I need to gather up the courage to use, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a learning experience. Next question is, what coloring book do you want to finish? And is there any possibility that it might be finished in 2026? So earlier I showed you my project books. Those are all books that I would really like to finish someday. None of them are even close to being finished. And so is Daydreams, not one that is going to be finished in 2026, but it is a book that I have worked on quite a bit so far this year, and I'm making good solid progress. If you're interested in seeing an update on all my project books and what I've done in them so far, there is a video up on the channel. So yeah, I've been working on this book quite a bit this year, and I've colored quite a few pages, but I think what I will do is show you the page that I'm working on right now, and it is this page. I'm calling it the Wild Rose Garden, and I am coloring it using Caran d'Ache luminance pencils. So far I have done the background. As you may or may not know, in this book, all of the backgrounds are going to be different shades of blues and greens. So I decided on that after seeing that many of my pages were already with blue backgrounds. So yeah, it's a fun book. I'm enjoying it. The paper quality is amazing. This page has a tutorial up on the channel. It's part of the Saturday Snippets feature, so you can follow along with me for that one. This one is the one I did last month, the side. This is the first page I colored in the book, and this is the one I did in June. So yeah, this is the book that I really hope to finish sooner rather than later. Next question is, what uncolored books do you want to color in by the end of the year? Now, at the beginning of 2026, I made a list for myself of all of my untouched books, and I decided that if any of the ones that have been on this list the longest are still untouched by the end of the year, I'm going to destash them. Now, one of them is already destashed. The Myth and Magic book is a book that I find highly detailed. Every time I looked at it, I was demotivated, and so I decided to give it away to a much happier home. A friend of mine admired it, and so I gave it to her, and she is getting a lot of joy out of it. Anyway, so the book on this list that I most want to color in is Wildflower Folk by Christine Caron. I love Christine Caron's art style. I love her portraits, and this book is definitely never being destashed because it is on the amazing Angel publishing paper. So it takes lots of different mediums. I know this because I have other books published by Angel Publishing, and I've thrown virtually every kind of medium at them. And of course the pages are single-sided, so you can even use alcohol markers. And I'm really eager to color a page. I'm thinking that the one that I want to color, I think I've shown this page in multiple videos, but I'm going to show it again because I adore it. Let me just find it. It is... did I go past her? It's this one. The Queen of the Seven Seas. I love her haughty expression. She is just so magnificent, and I want to color this page really, really soon. So yeah, I was going to perhaps color it for Mermaid, but it doesn't have to be colored for Mermaid. It's not really that much of a mermaid page, so I could probably color it whenever I wanted. Yeah, so yeah, this is the book that I most want to color in 2026. Next question is, what are some of your favorite new coloring channels that you've discovered in 2026? And I have discovered quite a few. The first one that I want to recommend is Ali at Color Mama 360. Ali is such fun. She does fabulous tag videos, which I have participated in. She has a lovely podcast that I follow religiously, and I cannot recommend her channel enough. Another fun channel is Crystal at Casually Coloring. Crystal does tips and tricks videos for doing backgrounds. She has an excellent one for how to do glowing stars in the night sky. She has one for doing sand. She has one for doing a watercolor background. She's really, really good at those. Another channel that I have discovered recently is Annaline. She is wonderful. First of all, she's a fellow South African. I love listening to her. Her accent reminds me of my mother. And that is the highest compliment, Annaline, if you're watching. Also, she does fabulous work with acrylic markers. She has a recent video on how she copied Van Gogh's style in a Van Gogh coloring book, and then she also applied it to a cozy coloring book. It was just incredible. Highly recommended. So those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head and immediately. Oh, and one other is Joanna Stone. I have mentioned her a couple of times in this video. She does tutorials on Neocolor 2s and Neocolor 1s and other mediums, but she also has her book of palettes, which I am subscribed to, and they are very, very useful. So yeah, those are the channels that I recommend that I discovered in 2026. The last two questions have to do with goals. Let me just read them. One is, are you on track or have you completed any goals you set at the start of the year? And the other one is, what coloring goals do you have for the rest of the year? So I talked about my goals in the beginning of the video. And let me just find them again. Yeah. So I'm on track for all of them, except for the last two. As I said, I haven't completed any of them yet, but I am well on my way to doing so. And I just think that my goal for the rest of 2026 is to enjoy my coloring, have fun, grow the channel, which I hope that you are all enjoying. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, those are all of the questions for the mid-year check-in. Thank you everybody for watching the video. If you've arrived at the end, well done. And I hope to see you all soon for future videos on the channel. Bye for now.